So we are in Montana. All right, so I guess another exclusive. Check this thing out. One, I love this little case. Zipper in the top, Starlink Mini in the middle, and then he says, let's just set that here. In the bottom, there's this nice like hard case with some Velcro or hook and loop, the pad, and then this is where you can keep your accessories. So we have our clamp, and then the battery, what am I saying battery? The charge adapter. And then, come on now, here we go. And then that's, I gotta figure out a way to pack this better. There, that'll do. And then up in the top, we have our cable, and then like the ground stand if we want it. But this is actually padded, which is cool. So when you put it down, it's not going to scratch the top of the Starlink. But unless you've been living under a rock, you would know that the owner of Starlink has gone through a bit of a political metamorphosis as of late, and that has resulted in a lot of people vandalizing products that he either solely owns or has a majority share in. At the same time, I paid my own money for this, and money I worked hard for, and I not only like to take care of all the things that I have, but I strongly prefer them not to be stolen or vandalized. So, to avoid being a target of either someone's political beliefs or sticky fingers, I have gone ahead and ventured over to the fine marketplace that is AliExpress and purchased what I felt was the least reflective, most matte black vinyl. And I have never worked with vinyl before in the past. This is 3 times larger than I need it to be, so I have the opportunity to, if I need to work with it again, I can. But yeah, we are going to attempt to adhere this vinyl onto the underside of our Starlink, such that if it's mounted up high, you're only going to see the bottom side of it, and that bottom side will now be black. So my hope is that people might, think of this as like a different style or brand antenna, and draw less attention to itself than the sort of like, let's call it Apple-inspired white and gray aesthetic. But that will also enable us to keep the top open, as I understand that even vinyl will actually have a really negative impact on the performance of the product itself. So yeah, we don't need to advertise that we have it, and it still will inherently have like the white bit at the bottom. Maybe I'll attempt to wrap that in the future. And for us, my plan is I got this clamp off Amazon, and the clamp will then sort of thread in and allow us to sort of pitch or adjust the pitch however we need to. And this is also black, and the bit it goes in is black. So yeah, just trying to reduce its like visual signature, let's say. So yeah, let's try it. Let's do it. So yeah, for the most part, I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward. My plan was to wrap it all the way up the side, but there is this natural sort of break in the moldings. So yeah, maybe if I can even just slice it along here, it'll be kind of black, gray, white. The bottom here is nice and flat, so I think it's going to adhere really well to this. But this is all textured, and I don't know how strongly it will adhere to the texture. Okay, this is going too well. I don't trust this. I feel like there's actually metallic sparkle in here. Maybe not. Might be able to tell, like, I feel like at these corners, there's a, well actually, let's just go ahead and just do a quick trim here. And then, yeah, that looks better. If I can do this, man, I'll be happy. I really don't know what to do with these corners. It's like, do I want to fold it like wrapping a present? I don't think so. Alright, have I done a good job? No. Have I done a bad job? Arguably. But have I done a job? I have most certainly done a job. Hack job is probably closer to it. Oh boy. This area was difficult, to say the least, if it's not abundantly obvious. Just out for a walk, saw these massive trees. I assume they're lodgepole pine. That's cool. I actually didn't know this difference, where it's kind of further down versus like all on a line. And that one's further down. That's cool. Good info. So here we are here. So this is where the state license thing, that confusion came in. I can't remember if I was telling you about that. So you can get up to 14 days of camping, obtaining a special recreational use permit from the local Montana DNR. Yeah. Consecutive or total, 14 days in a calendar year. That's strict, yeah. I mean, share the resource though, right? This is the organization of sites here. So one is like across the water over there. And then those guys, it looks like are in 2. There's this loop with 3. That's a boat launch. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. And then 13, 14, 15, a little loop. I'm gonna walk this on the way back. I didn't want to like intrude on people's sites. We're over here, number 9. 10, 11, 12. I saw some folks there, I think. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, and this is day use. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Okay. So, watercraft operating publicly spread for greater than 35 surface acres are limited to no wake speed. Okay, so like a little troller motor. That's perfect for fishing. So no motorboats and jet skis and stuff. Nice. Sweet. Well, I'll be honest, I could spend a week or two here. Absolutely incredible how lucky I was to have got this site. I did venture around the rest of the campground, and this is head and shoulders the nicest spot. There's so much potential here with just a little bit of management in terms of defining sites and blocking off certain areas, etc. But in any sense, I'm so thankful that it exists. I did think about going in the water, but yeah, she's chilly, so I can't believe how lucky I was. Even the weather turned around. I love a good rainy day, don't get me wrong. But yeah, just the temperature right now is absolutely perfect. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pack up here. And I'm actually going to head back to where we were the first night because I didn't get all the filming done that I wanted to. I just, yeah, strangely couldn't get in a rhythm. Nevertheless, we'll go do some more filming at that next location, spend a night there, and yeah, head home from that point. So, yeah, for now, just hook it back up and yeah, hit the road. So, slight change of plans. We're in Fernie. Ow, that's really hot. Yeah, Fernie is one of those towns that, like, gosh, I would love to live here, but it's just so unaffordable, and what few jobs there are, nothing's in my industry. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Nevertheless, from here, we are going to go head back to the lake, different lake, the original lake, and we're all topped up on water. So, yeah, let's go do that now. Because, gosh darn it, it's hot out here. 27 I saw on the truck, and then of course, I'm thinking about last year, where it was 34 granted, and we were pulling in the mountains. Well, we're pulling in the mountains again, and the transmission temperature, coolant temperature, all that, if anything, is on the low end. So, yeah, just it's so nice just to be able to like go and not have to worry about some kind of limitation. Just drive and enjoy it, right? So, anyways, yeah. Speaking of enjoying, there's probably going to be a, albeit cold lake dip, but a swim I think later today. So, let's get to that. All right, future Colin here, and I really wish I wasn't making this voiceover, but here we are, and you can probably hear it in my voice. Just even thinking about this experience is giving me such anxiety. In truth, right now it looks like I'm enjoying my boat, but actually I was trying to escape the campsite situation. So, on, I think it was like the second day that I was here, this lady just walked through my site. And behind my site, you can kind of see through the trees there. There are some other camper trailers. I thought, oh, maybe she's just missed the path and she's lost. But she ended up looping back and said that her and her senior partner didn't feel comfortable going on the available campsite. In truth, I've been on that campsite before, and if you don't position your trailer really well, then you can end up sort of stepping out almost into a slope. So I get it. And I didn't want to be the reason that someone can't come camping, and it's a shared space. In fact, these are first come, first serve free campsites, just like are throughout the United States. And so, much to my later regret, I said, well, why don't you just, you can share the site that I'm on. And then they ended up actually pulling their trailer so far back that I hung this towel here just so that I could come out and enjoy the space. Well, the next day, a gentleman walked up into my site and actually just about stepped on my inflatable pack raft and just kind of made a light introduction and then sort of left without explaining really much of what was going on. Well, lo and behold, the fellow who first came in to quote share my site had called his buddy and said, hey, in a couple of days, this guy's probably leaving, as I had told them I would leave when I ran out of water. And usually that was, kind of in a few days, but things were actually being pretty conservative. Nevertheless, the second guy, I walked into my trailer without realizing what was going on, and all I saw was like aluminum out my dinette window. And I really wish I didn't have to, you know, like underscore this, but he was basically within 3 feet of my trailer out back. So now there's two people pushing in. I came out, I was really upset. And then I got really self conscious about getting really upset. And I also realized I was camping alone, and it was kind of not only a 2 against 1, it was a 4 against 1 because they had their partner. And so I like honestly didn't know what to do. And so what ended up happening actually is I was just feeling super anxious, feeling encroached in on, but it is what it is. Pick your battles, right? Well, sure enough, I'm in my trailer, and the original folks, you can see their trailer on the left. She ended up walking straight through my site, and she walked between this mat I'm folding up and the picnic table, claiming that she has every right to do so. When I later approached her and asked her not to, she was so offended that I would ever ask her not to walk through the site. And the reason why I'd asked her not to is because I was actually in the middle of getting changed. And so I've blocked out the original person, and they were defending the wife, saying, well, it's not like she hasn't seen anything before. And yeah, this is the trailer on the right. It's the second one that came in. I got them to pull it forward about 10 feet, 8-10 feet. So it was much further back, but I basically just said to them, I was like, look, you win. And I ended up leaving, a couple days earlier than I would have liked. It was beautiful weather. I would have loved to have stayed. So I hope anybody watching this doesn't end up in the same situation that I did and gets pushed off a site. I hate that I even have to make this video, but this is my story to tell. And thank you so much for watching. I sincerely do appreciate it. We will see you next week with another video. You take care, and bye for now.